Every high and crushing low taught me something invaluable: resilience. I began documenting my journey, recording every lesson and every step towards rebuilding my success and my mental, even if no one else was watching. I didn't know where this path would lead, but I had Frank, Rosario, and the memories of everything I built and lost, fueling my determination. What you're about to see is my journey, the highs, the lows, and every moment in between, captured during a time when I was all alone, but never defeated. I'm going to get back to being a millionaire. No matter what, I will make it.
Yo, hello guys. This is so weird because it's November. It is. So I got music going as well. It is November 17th. Hopefully you can see that. It is November 17th. It is Friday. Sorry, my voice is all fucked up as well. Bitcoin is at some weird level where all the altcoins are like fucking trying to win, but or beat Bitcoin. But let's say Bitcoin's at 36,500 and ETH is at 1944. They were a little bit higher, but they kind of like dropped down a little bit, so it's kind of crazy. So what's the scoop this time? A lot of craziness has happened, right? Let me turn this off. It's so interesting how these things work. It's so many crazy things have happened, and for whatever reason, some of them are getting solved. And it's interesting because it's like, you know, I'm like amazed. I'm like, why do we have to go through like all this bullshit, and then at the very end, it always happens at the very end of like the tough situation, there becomes a moment where we like finally get to breathe, and we finally get to, you know, relax a little bit and have like some enjoyment in life. And I feel like the last 3 to 4 days it's been like that, which is nice. Mainly because we got the chicks contract, the Morella chicks contract, and that was crazy. That was hard to get. That was very, very difficult because we've been waiting a month and a half to try to get that. It's been crazy, like actually crazy, insane. The other thing is that you know, I've had to like, and so I get paid from that, by the way. So I get somewhere around like $10,000 more or less. 4,000 of that, so almost half of that is going to rent. But I mean, you know, it makes sense. I'm not gonna say that it's like, oh fuck, I could have done a lot with that. I can do a lot with 65, 70, or 7,500, somewhere around there. But you know, I'm just thankful. I'm just grateful. At the end of the day, I'm just happy that, you know, it worked out, and it just means that I have to work harder to try to make sure that we get afloat. Because when we get ahead and we get, you know, afloat, and the business gets out of debt, that's when we start making the big money. That's when I'll start making like 20K a month, 30K a month. So in my head, yeah, I'm having to struggle, and I'm having to take these pay cuts and stuff. And by the way, I have been applying for jobs and stuff like that, and for whatever reason, I can't get any job. I mean, literally, this is crazy. I applied for like if this comes out, people are gonna laugh at me, but I like applied for like a part-time nanny. I applied for like a teacher on computer stuff, like, you know, or animation, teacher for animation, which I could definitely do. I could be a teacher. You know, I would just have to learn curriculum stuff, like how to like organize curriculum, but I could do it. And then number 3 was, what was number 3? Number 3 was I tried to be like an intern for an animation company. I talked about that in a previous one with the San Ramon Animation Studio. They actually denied my claim. I also applied for that one, AT&T gig that never went through, and the lady just ghosted me. So it's like, I'm a really good candidate, I promise. I feel like jobs just aren't hiring like good people nowadays. They want cheap people. So it is what it is. I feel like if I would have gone to that job at the $20 an hour they wanted, they would have got me. But because I wanted $30 an hour, that's the only thing that pissed them off. But to be honest, if you're looking for somebody who's good in sales and they can't pitch you on, and they're not asking for any more, they're only asking for the bare minimum, they're not going to be a good salesperson. Off the bat, salespeople know what they're worth. And so if you go for $20 an hour, it's not worth. I can go to Panda Express for $20 an hour. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to know your worth. And even driving jobs and stuff, they're paying $22, $23 an hour plus, gas, reimbursement more or less. So it's like, why would I go for a job that's only doing $20 to $22, $23, $24 an hour if I can, get that doing, fast food or just driving. So I don't know. People think people are stupid, but, I'm not stupid. I know my worth. So as far as everything's going with business, I mean, it's going okay. Like I said, we got Morella. We're finishing off a couple jobs. I just got us another lead for tomorrow to check out. And then we have another job that we need to bid. Hopefully we get that done this weekend. Otherwise, I'm going to cry. So we have, at least 2 to 3 jobs, hopefully in our vicinity for the next couple of months. Just off the bat, just right now. So that's good. And then we set a lien against the kid's house, the one that was really just messing shit up, delayed our payments for, almost a month and a half. We did a lien against his property, so that way we can go ahead and get that extra money that we told him time and time again. Hey, it's gonna be extra money if you delay us. We're letting you know. We've done that. We're saying that for like 2 weeks. So for him to kind of be like, oh, you guys didn't tell me, there's no way. We have communications. He has threats, threat communications towards both of us. So it's one of those things where it's like he'll pay us once his property is fully liened, once that process really shows up to his doorstep. Aside from the business stuff, what am I doing? Well, I really need the money to fix my computers, right? I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I have to fix my main computer, my main rig, which is the supercomputer, the $10,000 PC I got, $10,000 PC I got. I gotta fix that up so that way it can actually use render correctly and be in the 1,000 range. And right now it's only in the 500 range and score. And the reason why that's important is because with render, usually I'll make, let's say, like $30, or let's just even lower that because it's not as even, but let's just say in a month's time, usually I make $50 off of render every single month. It'll do like rendering jobs and stuff like that. And sometimes these rendering jobs, they're only a week span as far as like how, like when they actually like get going, like super get going. And they like last for a week, and then they like, I don't see any jobs are over. And this is just off of the level that I'm at right now. Once I fix my PC, it should be back at its prime, and that's what I'm hoping for. And so, but I have to get new parts. I have to get I have to rearrange a lot of shit. I have to literally take my PC apart as if it were brand new. I have to take it fully apart and put it back together. It's gonna be a pain in the head. I don't know, probably take about 2 days to fully do, which is gonna be annoying. But if I have the money to do it, then I won't work those 2 days. I'm just gonna basically work on my PC because that is money, you know. But by doing this, I can get my PC back up and running. It'll be really, really nice. And then also, I'll be able to also, like maybe render on it as well later on. So it's dual purpose, and it's gonna work out really well. And then I have to fix my other smaller PC. This is the one that I was using as my daily driver. I'll upgrade the video card, and I have to change out the AIO cooler because that one just, like, for whatever reason it ran out of coolant or water or whatever, but it won't go anymore. So I have to replace those two things in that guy, and then that one will be super good. And no, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, once those two computers are up, and also having that be for render as well is going to be really nice, because then I'll probably make about $100 a month, maybe. I have no clue, but maybe I'll be able to make like $100 a month on that. So overall, it'll be a nice feeling to, you know, make a little bit more money every single month on just those. And that means that I can, like, actually calm down a little bit on, you know, working, trying to do, you know, the stuff that I've been doing, and be able to pay people and all this other good stuff. And then, so that's for render, that's for that. Then I have my manga that I'm finishing up, my one shot. It should be done probably in January, but if not, probably 100% February. But January is where I'm looking to have everything done for that. So my manga one shot is going to be really nice. We're just working on the shading right now, trying to get that going, but all the inking is done. And then we go into text, which is the word bubbles. And then after that, we go into just the words. Make sure all the words are good. Make the cover. Make the intro page, and then make the back cover. So then we have a book, and it's gonna be about 75 pages. I mean, for a one shot to be about 75 pages, that's fucking crazy. And I really do hope people like it, and I think people are going to be surprised about it. And I think it's going to be unique. It's not going to be some your everyday, you know, one shot. It's going to be unique, and it's going to pique some interest, and that interest is going to continue to Hanako, but it's going to be its standalone thing. And there are going to be questions, but it's nice because those questions could be answered in the actual manga, which I kind of want. I don't want everything to be figured out or everything to be solved, because if I do it that way, then it doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna make sure that, you know, it has enough in it for it to, like, really kind of be its own thing. Trying to think what else. I mean, I have an Etsy shop. I haven't really talked about this, the crystal thing. I have an Etsy shop, but it's not doing as good as it probably should. I'm gonna wait until the end of the month, and then if it still doesn't make a sale by the end of the month, then I'm gonna have somebody help make the shop better, pay them like a couple $100, and then make the shop better, and hopefully that investment pays off, and it gets me to where I need to be, where that shop can run by itself. And that's also hopefully gonna make me another $100 to $200 a month. That's the only expectation I have for that shop. You know, a couple hundred a month. If it does more than that, then good. If it sets me up, then good. But right now, that's what I need. You know, just a couple hundred a month. Sorry. That way, if I'm making like $500 a month, then I think rent is pretty much covered. Because I made a deal where rent for me should be $500 a month until we're consistent, and then the company pays the other $500. So unless I get a W-2 job, if I get a W-2 job, then it doesn't make sense not to pay the $1,000. But we'll see. I think that's it for like the business and for the money and the strategic way. Once I get all this money as well, I'm going to be investing and I'll be making sure that my car is good. I'm going to try to get everything all set up so that way my car is not suspended. So I was going to try to go to DMV today, but that's looking like it's not going to be a possibility. So I'm going to have to probably go to DMV once I come back, which is going to be annoying, but it is what it is. Trying to think what else. So I will be going to San Diego for 2 weeks though, and I just got word a couple of days ago. So a couple things have happened. So because my uncle is has cancer and is going through this whole mess, I've been more in tune to try to get everything good for my health as well. So I've been making sure to drink carrot juice, kind of prevent cancer. I've been making sure to get my shots. I got vaccines, and I can see my dermatologist all in December, which is going to be nice. And then I'm also, once I get my money, I'm going to get some test kits for like colon cancer, things that I shouldn't eat. Oh, just random tests just to make sure I'm good. STD test. Not that anything's wrong, okay? It's just I want to make sure 100% that I'm good. I'm literally the person that's like, oh, I haven't had sex, but I'm gonna go ahead and have an STD test. Obviously, I have had sex before, but I'm just saying, like, I'm the type of person to basically just do that, even though it's like there's a 1% chance that I have anything. But because I don't get tested very often for stuff, I mean, I went and gave plasma and stuff and blood and all that stuff for like 3 months straight. So I don't think that there's really anything wrong, but I mean, you never know. So I'd rather get tested for just stupid shit than, later find out that I could have done it earlier. You know what I mean? Preventive measures. I'd rather be the guy who's basically hoarding fucking canned foods in his basement than not be the guy who hoards canned foods in his basement. There's no harm in it, right? And then, but so I've been more inclined to look at my health and make sure that I'm healthy, because I don't know. My grandmother just found like I don't know if she's had it for a while. I mean, this is just coming from my mom, but she has a lump on her breast, and I'm guessing that she had to have it like monitored or whatever for some time before they really was like, hey, this is an issue. But she has breast cancer now, or yeah, like let's just say early stages of breast cancer. I never like to say breast cancer until like it's like been cut, and then it's like, yes, I had breast cancer, that was cancerous, but I have no clue. On Tuesday when I go to or on Monday when I go to San Diego, and then on Tuesday when she goes and has her check, because she's gonna go get checked, I believe, to see for surgery and stuff like that. Excuse me. That doesn't happen very often. See, that's why I gotta get checked. But she's gonna get that checked, and no, that came as kind of a shock. And then I had my blood taken like 2 or 3 days ago for just it was part of my physical, but I guess the lady, my doctor, she never told me to go downstairs to go to the lab, so they've just been waiting for me to go and get my labs done, which is basically just my blood and shit. And one of those tests said that I could be a pre-diabetic, but they won't know unless it's if that test is the same next time. So I gotta wait 6 months, and if the test is the same, then I'm probably a pre-diabetic. And I haven't looked too much into it, so I don't know too much about diabetes or any of that shit. And I didn't even realize that you could be diabetic in any sort of capacity, being this fucking scrawny. But if I'm gonna be diabetic, that's gonna be crazy. And I have no clue what that entails. I really don't want to look it up and scare myself or anything like that until like the time comes. But I really hope it's like a false positive or whatever, because it's just, before you go to the diabetic type test, you have to clear your stomach. And the night before, I did have alcohol, although it was like 12 hours prior. But I mean, most times it's like 24 hours prior. So that might be the only thing. Maybe I was a little bit bloated or something like that. But I think it was the alcohol that I had. It wasn't much too. It was just a beer, but you never know. So that might be the only thing that I had like in my system. I had like, I didn't really have anything else, so I have no clue. But yeah, I'm thinking it's a false positive. Just imagine, fuck. But you'll know in 6 months. If this is still going, I'm not fucking rich in 6 months, then you guys will know. And then seeing my uncle. That's gonna be the biggest thing for this trip, you know, and seeing everyone else as well. But seeing my uncle is gonna be just one of those things where it's gonna be interesting. Just to kind of see him, see how he's doing, and if it is his last time, I really, really want to get that last, you know, word in and say, hey, you know, hey, big guy, you know, you're fucking strong as fuck. You're like a honey badger, motherfucker. You got this. So, yeah. Yeah. So, that's it for this one. A little bit happier time. Oh yeah, and it's my birthday on December 3rd, so I wonder, I'll update everyone, but I'll see how many people actually say happy birthday to me this year. Obviously family does, but friends and stuff like that, it's gonna be nice, because there's a Miyazaki film. When I come back, my buddy's birthday is on like the 9th or whatever, so we'll go and see I think it's the same day. His birthday's either on the 9th or the 12th, so I have to figure it out. But we'll go see the Miyazaki film with his wife as well, and I think that's gonna be cool. So, okay, guys, that's been it for today, and then I'll check on you next time. And then I think I already mentioned it, but yeah, I have investments in cryptos and stuff too. Neoxa is gonna be big one day, so hopefully that goes crazy. But Caspa and Neoxa are the things I'm watching. So a year from now, if you understand and I'm rich and, you know, famous and stuff, it's because I bought Neoxa and I bought Cas like early on. Caspa is now at 10 cents. So I'm doing this for the record, by the way. Caspa now is at like 10 to 13 cents, more or less. It keeps going up and down. And Neoxa is at like literally like less than half a cent right now. Half a cent. It's at like 0.002 more or less. So hopefully everything goes good with that. But I'm holding those for long term. Once I get the money, I'm gonna put like $100, $200 every time we get like a really good job or whatever. So yeah, peace.
So if you thought the video was good, please give it a like and share. It really helps. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see the rest of the story unfold. This project is so close to my heart, and your support keeps it going. Thanks so much. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time in the archives of a Shiba Millionaire.